Hello and welcome to this Wario Plush review. I hope you are doing well and let's get into it. So, where can you get it and how much does it cost? So this plush can be found easily on Amazon or eBay, and on Amazon the first result I found was £20, which is roughly about $26 or $26. So it's a really good deal for what you're getting. I'm sure you can find cheaper ones on eBay and obviously other Amazon sellers, but that was just the first one I found. So getting straight onto it, we'll have a look at the body shape. So like all Sanei plushies, this obviously looks very much like the character. So he's obviously a fat guy. His head's a lot bigger. He has tiny legs and his arms are in really good shape. Overall, it looks really like Wario. It looks a really nice plush. Especially the face, I think it's got a lot of detail and I really like that. So this plush itself is actually quite soft. It's a little bit firmer than the other Sanei plushies. I think it has to be to retain its kind of roundness, if you know what I mean. His hair is really nice and soft though, nice and squishy. And the same with his arms, they're the same squishiness as his body and his head. So yeah, the stuffing is very good. Obviously, you can see the seams, but you can't actually see the stitching on it. So you can see where the two pieces of fabric have met down the middle, but you can't actually see where they've stitched it. And that's the same for the whole plush. That looks really good. Yep, so the stitching's very nice as always. So most of the plush is made out of this, really nice, soft, I'm going to call it felt, because it's, really nice and soft. But there are some stitch bits and some other kind of fabric bits as well. So on his face, a lot of it is not actually this nice soft stuff, which is nice, isn't a little bit different. So obviously you've got his eyes, they're stitched on very nice. So very nice and clean, polished. The Wario logo on his hat, that's stitched on as well. That's nice. All the stitching is really, really good in this plush, as with all Sanei plushes. Really nice, accurate portrayal of the characters, and there's no kind of bits you can pull off. There's no loose strings or anything. So his teeth, his teeth are actually felt. But the lines in between his teeth, they're stitched on, so that's good. And there's two things that are made out of kind of a thin felt that's on his own. It's not stuffed. So that's his moustache. Really nicely shaped, zigzag. And the other thing which I find really quite weird is his nostrils. They're not made out of this felt. They're made out of I don't know. It's same as this, but it's a little bit harder. So in a way, it kind of, if you really focus on it, on the nostrils, it does look a little bit weird if you focus on it. Because these are separate from his nose, they're not attached, and they're made of a different material and they feel completely different. So sometimes when you look at it, it can look a little bit weird. But that's only if you're focusing on it. If you're not focusing on it, it's fine. So, as well as on his gloves, the Wario symbol is stitched on, which is very nice and clean. As well as on his hands, these are really, really good, just like any Sanei plushes. So you've got individual fingers, his thumb, it looks really, really nice. A lot better than the Sonic plushes, to be honest. Yeah, just look at that, that's really nice. That's one thing I've found with Sanei, they're just really, really consistently good, which is a very good thing, obviously. So, the head shape, it really does look like Wario, I love it. The chin, it's kind of spiky, his ears, that kind of the elf evil ears and stuff. Cap's really nice and soft, really nice shape. And one thing they fixed, from the Mario and Luigi, this bit of skin under his hair would actually be brown, which would look a little bit weird. But on this one, it's fine. That's really good. So they made it skin, so they fixed that. which is a good thing, I think. His hair at the back, I don't actually know why they put this extra stitch in, because from the side it's completely round anyway, there's no actual shape. But, you know, it's fine. It looks like Wario's hair. It doesn't have to be that good from the back anyway, does it? So, yeah, the face looks absolutely brilliant. Really, really good. Right, so what is the grip rating for Wario? That's a little bit of a hard question, actually. It depends what size hands you have, really. If you have small hands, it's going to be a 2 out of 5. You know, it's not good to hold. It's really quite heavy. For a plush, it's really heavy, actually. You know, for something its size, it's very dense and stitched up. Which I suppose it means it's made well. But then again, it's not good for holding. There's also not many places where you can grip him because he's really thick. So if you have big hands like me, then it's quite easy. So you can just grab him around. If you have small hands, you're going to find it a little bit harder to hold him. Just for example, if I hold his arm up with a Mario or Luigi, you'll be able to hold him by his arm fine, and he'll be straight up. If you hold Wario, yeah, the weight of his body actually pulls him under. So you have to kind of hold him by the shoulder, put your fingers down there. Which is fine if you're an experienced handler, and that's what I call it. But again, if you have small hands, it's going to be a little bit harder to hold. So yeah, the same as on the back, there's not many places to hold, so you're going to have to hold his whole body, which is going to be quite hard. One thing you can do is, if you hold here under his clothes, that works well. But again, you don't really want to pull this off his buttons, because that is just glued on. So there you can see it slightly coming off. So you don't want to pull the bits at the back too much, just in case it does actually come off. So the grip rating all round, if you have small hands, I'm going to give this a 1 to 2 out of 5. Yeah, it's not easy to hold because of its weight, and it's really just the shape of his body, which I suppose you can't really argue with. But if you have bigger hands, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's a little bit easier, but it's still not easy. Right, on to the little things I don't like about this plush. So the first thing that I don't really like is his legs. And I know Wario's supposed to have small stubby legs, he doesn't have long legs like Waluigi. But these legs aren't really stuffed very well, they're a little bit empty, so they tend to flop about a little bit. So if you're trying to sit him down, and you're trying to rest him on his legs, you just can't, he just falls forwards, like that. Which brings me on to the next gripe I have with this. You just can't sit him down without leaning up against something. Like, you just can't. It's because his backside, it's not flat like the Mario and Luigi. So you can't, it's not like a shelf, you can't sit him on anything. It's round, so you have to really balance it if you want it to stay up. But as you can see, that's going to fall over. So I'm sure on flat surfaces it will be a little bit better. But as I say, you can't lean him on his feet, so he does fall forwards, so you're going to have to lean him up against something. Which is a little bit annoying, but it's not a huge thing. Last gripe is, you know, just the nostrils. They're not too bad. They look fine if you don't stare at them. But yeah, that's really all I have about this plush that I don't really like. So what is the final verdict for this plush? Right, this is a little bit of a hard one. I did have to think about it a little bit, but I think I've made up my mind. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now the reason I didn't give it higher, like a 9 or a 9.5, is simply just because of how it can't sit down. You know, the other gripes, like his nose and his legs, they don't really, you know, they are bad things, but they don't take away from the whole plush. I think the plush looks great, it really looks like Wario. It's all in proportion, it looks really, really good. Really well made, nice and soft. So there is a lot to like about this plush. But that's just one thing I'll warn you, if you are doing plush videos with this, just be one that you can't sit him down very well. So as I said, you can get this on eBay and Amazon for between $10 to $30 or pounds. So it's, for what you're getting, it's really good price. And it's also easy to find, which is also a good thing. So I really hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any ideas for another review you want to see, so maybe like a Link plush, a Daisy plush, a Yoshi, the cat plush from Sonic, just give me an idea in the comments and I'll get back to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, hope you found it useful, hope you consider this plush because it is a really nice one, and I will see you next video. See you later.